Hi, this is Candace from By His Grace. Today I am making some white bread. I've made this bread for a very long time and it's super easy. It's foolproof. I've never messed it up. And we are completely out of bread, so I thought this would be a good day to take you along with me. Normally you can do it by hand. You don't really need a Bosch mixer. I'm doing this today because it's taken away some of the work. I've got canning going on and I haven't even started school with the kiddos. So this is going to help me today, but definitely know you do not need a Bosch. You can always knead by hand. Here's the ingredients you are going to need. You're going to need 3 cups of warm water. You're going to need 1.5 tablespoons of instant dry yeast and 3/4 cup of sugar. And then you'll need 1/3 cup of oil. I'm using extra virgin olive oil today. 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of salt, and flour. So it's very simple ingredients that you would have in your pantry. So let's get started here. First, I'm going to begin by mixing the 3 cups of water. This is warm water. Then to that, I am going to add the sugar and the yeast. I'm going to mix that up just a little bit. And then I'm going to put the lid on and let it set and become active. Maybe. For about 5 minutes, and I'll come back and check in with you. Okay, it's been 5 minutes or so. I'm going to check this. It's very active, and that's exactly what we want. So to this, I'm going to add my egg, 1 egg. 1 tablespoon of salt. And 1/3 cup of oil. I'm going to swish that around. Start putting in my flour. This is the part where you kind of got to just watch and see how your dough is working. There's been times where I've had to put in 14 cups of flour. There's been times when I only had to put in 10. But I know for sure the minimum is 8. So I'm going to go ahead and put in 8 without even worrying about it. And then from there I will slowly add up depending on what the dough looks like. So I'm going to keep it going on number 1. There's my 8 cups. I'm going to mix that up and just see what it looks like. We are wanting it to be clean around the edges. So I will show you exactly what I'm talking about when we get to that point. Right now it's pretty wet and I am for sure going to need to put in more. So we're at 8 cups right now. That's the minimum. Down. Now this is where we are going to kind of take our time because you don't want to add too much flour. So slow and steady. So at the bottom you can see it's really cleaning up that flour. We're just going to need a little bit more because it's about there. Not going to even add a full cup yet. Just a little bit at a time. At the bottom it's cleaned up all that dough, so it scraped it really clean at the bottom. The other thing I look for, it's not going to be a sticky dough, so that's perfect. It's not even, I mean, it's a little sticky, but it's not like sticking to my finger. So okay, so now what I'm going to do, now that I got it to the consistency I want it, I'm going to just knead it in here for probably about 10 minutes. I'm just going to let my machine do the work for me. So I will be back in 10 minutes and let you see what it looks like. Okay, so it has been kneading in here for about 10 minutes. I've got me a bowl and I've oiled it down on the sides. We're going to transfer the dough to the bowl, and then we'll have it rise for about an hour or until it doubles in size. Usually it's about an hour because my kitchen's pretty warm right now. So this is what it looks like. So you can kind of punch it down. It's very easy to work with. So I'm going to get this covered up. And we'll set it somewhere warm, and it usually takes about an hour to double in size. Like I said, depending on how warm your kitchen is. I usually set mine over here by the stove. All right, so I'll check back in with you. Okay, the dough has been rising for just about an hour. It's pretty warm in here, like I said, so it didn't take too long to show you. It's pretty much at the top of that bowl. Pretty good rise. So now I'm going to stick it on a oiled surface. To divide it, I'm going to make 2 loaves with this dough. It's a very nice dough to work with. Just gonna put it into a shape of a loaf. Nothing too fancy or anything like that. I'm going to stick it into an oiled bread pan. And I've got my oven preheating to 375. And once I get these in the bread pan, I'm going to let it rise for about another 30 minutes before putting it in the oven. That's what it looks like in the bread pan. And then it'll do another rise, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, I've been letting the dough rise in these bread pans for probably about 40 minutes, and they have risen pretty good. So it's time to put it in the oven, and we're gonna have it bake. I'm gonna start at 26 minutes. I'll check it at 26 minutes. Usually it's done around that time. You wanna go ahead and put it in? We got the oven preheated to 375. They're heavy, aren't they? Be careful. All right, we'll check back in with you. Okay, our timer is going off. So we'll take a peek. And I had pulled off the lids to the bread pans probably around minute 21. But if you don't have lids, you don't have to worry about that step. But it's a nice uniform loaf. That's why I like these bread pans, but you don't need these. Any bread pan will work for this recipe. It's a lot of bread. I'll turn them out for you. All right, let me get the bread. There's one. Flip it over. All right, we have let the loaves cool for a little bit, so now we're gonna give it a slice and a taste test, right, Hudson?
Yep, sure.
All right, I've already started cutting this, but I wanted to record it for you guys, so. Here's the inside of the bread. It's nice and soft. It's beautiful bread. Yeah, I'll show you from the side there. It's yummy, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
All right, you gonna have the first piece?
Yeah.
You want me to butter it for you?
I could probably do it.
Yeah. More butter than that on there, huh? All right.
Yeah.
You're not just saying that because you're on camera, right? All right, well, I hope you enjoy this recipe, and I hope you give it a try because it is so super cheap and simple to make your own bread. And especially if you live in the country, you don't have to run to town all the time for bread. So it's a good deal, isn't it? All right, well, have a great day, and God bless you.
Now I